All right, hello everyone. Let's talk about how we are going to create some different types of paper sculpture today. And remember, a sculpture is something that looks like I could pick it up and hold it and touch it. It's not a flat drawing or a painting. It is three-dimensional. So this is the paper sculpture that we're going to practice today. We'll practice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different types of paper sculpture. So the first one we're going to practice today is called the loop, okay? So I have my paper that I'm going to be gluing my loops to, and I have one long strip of paper. So what I'm going to do first for my loop is I'm going to make a couple feet on the ends of the loop. So how I do that is I start at the end, and I'm going to fold just a little bit on the end like that, and then on the other end I'm going to fold just a little bit. So now what I've just done is I've created two little feet. So I can flip my paper upside down like this, and then I'm going to glue my two little feet onto my paper just like that. So I'm going to take my glue stick, glue onto the foot, and then stick that foot somewhere on my paper. So right now my paper is kind of sticking up like this and the foot is glued down. And then I'm going to glue the other foot, so a little bit of glue on that spot, and then bring it around and stick it down. So I want to press for a couple seconds to hold it down to make sure it stays. And then I've got a loop. Now, if I wanted to make many loops, I could just do this again with another strip of paper, make the feet, and then glue it down next to this loop. So I could go loop, loop, loop. So that is our first paper sculpture. So let's try that one first. Our next paper sculpture we're going to practice today is this big circle, okay? This big piece that goes around and around, looks like a big circle. So I'll take another strip of paper. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to meet the two ends of the paper together and then glue those two ends down together. So I'm going to put a little bit of glue on one end, bring this side around, stick down like this, hold for a couple seconds to make sure it really stays, and now I've got a nice little loop. So I can take my glue and glue this loop anywhere on my paper, and then again hold down for a few seconds, 1, 2, 3, and now I've got a loop. If I wanted to make many loops next to each other, I could just make another one and another one and another one. So that's our second one we're going to practice together. Third one we're going to practice together is called the spiral. This one that kind of goes around and around, okay? So I'm going to take another piece of paper, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use a pencil to help me with this one. So I'm going to take my paper at the end and make sure I'm holding with my finger. I don't ever want to let go of that spot. Hold, wrap around, keep holding, wrap around. Oh, you know what? I messed up. I let go of my paper. Let's try it again. Hold down, wrap around with the other finger, wrap, wrap, wrap really tight. Make sure it's sticking to the pencil really tightly. Keep wrapping, holding with the other hand. And then I'm going to hold down for a couple seconds to make sure it's really tight. 1, 2, 3. And then when I take it off my pencil, I've got a really tight loop. Okay, so I can kind of take my fingers and pull it out a little bit to make it less tight. Now I'm going to glue it down. So I'm going to take one of the ends and put a little bit of glue, stick somewhere on my paper. Now I've got this other end, so I'm going to bring it kind of around. Oop, this is a really tight loop. Okay, I'm going to bring it around like this and then glue the other foot on this end. So it kind of will look like this in the end. It's kind of like a loop that's going through. So again, a little bit more glue on the other end. And then stick down, 1, 2, 3. So now I've got a big loop. All right, two ends stick down. So that's the third one we're going to practice together. So practice that one now. The next one we're going to practice together is called the zigzag. It kind of looks like a stairway going up, up, up. So I'm going to take another strip of paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at one end, and I'm going to fold up, and then I'm going to fold opposite way down. Fold up, then opposite way down. And I'm going to keep folding up and down until I've reached the very end of the paper. I want to keep pressing down so it's really tight. Up and down, up and down. And now when I've reached the end, I can let go, and it looks kind of like a zigzag, springy paper. So I can glue one foot down somewhere, and then glue the other foot Maybe I could go around, kind of like the loop, so I could glue it down like this. Or I could attach it to another piece, like the loop up here, attach it, and then glue the other piece down on the ground. So that's our fourth one we're gonna practice together. So practice this one now, the zigzag. Okay, now the last one we're gonna practice together, we've done 4 so far. The last one we're gonna practice together is this piece that kind of looks like it's standing up by itself, almost like it's the sides of a building. So I'll take another long strip of paper. Now I need to make some feet at the ends. So we've practiced this before. Fold one end, flip it over, fold the other one the same way. So they're going the same way. Now I want to make sure that I have this piece looking like it's sticking up straight on the top. So right now it's kind of like a loop. So I'm going to take my ends right here, and then on the top I'm just going to fold on top, fold on top. Okay, I made 2 little folds on top here, 1, 2. So now I have 2 feet sticking up that I can glue down to my paper, and then this piece will be sticking up straight like this. Okay, so glue those 2 feet down. So that is the last one that we're going to practice together, so practice that one.